Hi guys, it's Miss Lisa and I'm on the porch for almost a nighttime story time, porch time. And this book today is called The Relatives Came and it is by Cynthia Rylant and the pictures are by Stephen Gamble. And if you've been watching me read all of these different stories, I bet you recognize the artist. He did Monster Mama, which was one of my favorites. So this one's called The Relatives Came. Hold on. Here we go. I hope you're had a good day today. It it was in the summer of the year when the relatives came. They came up from Virginia. They left when their grapes were nearly purple enough to pick, but not quite. They had an old station wagon that smelled like a real car, and in it they put an ice chest full of soda pop. And they put some boxes of crackers and some bologna sandwiches, and up they came from Virginia. They left at 4 in the morning when it was still dark, even before the birds were awake. They drove all day long and into the night, and while they traveled along, they looked at all the strange houses and different mountains, and they thought about their almost purple grapes back home. They thought about Virginia, but they thought about us too. We were waiting for them. So they drank up all their pop and they ate up all their crackers and traveled up all those miles until finally they pulled into our yard. Oh, look at all that. Then it was hugging time. Talk about the hugging. These relatives just passed us around their car, pulling us against their wrinkled Virginia clothes, crying sometimes. They hugged us for hours. They must have really missed them. Then it was into the house, and so much laughing and shining faces and hugging in the doorways. You'd have to go through at least 4 different hugs just to get from the kitchen to the front room with those relatives. And finally, after a big supper 2 or 3 times around until we all got a turn at the table, there was quiet talk, and we were in 2s and 3s all throughout the house. The relatives weren't particular about beds, which was good since there weren't any extras, so a few squeezed in with us and the rest of them slept on the floor. Some with their arms thrown over the closest person, some with their arms across just one person and a leg across another. It was different going to sleep with all that new breathing in the house. Oh, that guy's getting a haircut. The relatives stayed for weeks and weeks and weeks. They helped us tend the garden, and they fixed all the broken things that they could find. They ate up all of our strawberries and melons, then promised we could eat up all their grapes and peaches when we went down to Virginia to see them. There's them all. But none of us thought about Virginia much. We were so busy hugging and eating and breathing together. Finally, after a long time, the relatives loaded up their ice chest and headed back to Virginia at 4 in the morning. We stood there in our pajamas and waved them off in the dark. We watched the relatives disappear down the road. Then we crawled back into our beds that felt too big and too quiet, and we fell asleep. And the relatives drove on all day long and into the night. And while they traveled along, they looked at all the strange houses and the different mountains, and they thought about their dark purple grapes waiting at home in Virginia. But they thought about us too, missing them, and they missed us. And when they were finally home in Virginia, they crawled into their silent, soft beds and dreamed about next summer. I wonder if they were planning on going back again next summer. The relatives came. I'm Lisa Murphy. I hope you liked that one. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.